Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope that you are making the most of this day. I'm sure some of you are spending it with your families, others of you have elected not to. No matter what you decided was best for you, I hope that you are having a great day. Um, Today's update involves a lot of numbers, so I want to just give you a quick refresher on the lingo that I have become all too familiar with. Um, so, mom's CPAP machine has been turned up to 100% all this time. That means it's like full out, max as high as it can go. We want that percentage that machine is turned up to go down and still maintain an oxygen saturation level of around 96-97%. Um, this means that she would, as her that percentage on the machine goes down, but her saturation stays the same, it means she's becoming less reliant on the CPAP, which is good. That's what we want her to be, less reliant, breathing on her own. Um, they've tried turning it down several times, and they've turned it down to 90. They've turned it down to 85, never lower than 85. And each time her saturation bottoms out, and they have to turn it right back up again. So there's my quick review. Um, when I called yesterday, where we left off was that Nurse Tyler, remember, we like Tyler. Tyler's our favorite. Tyler is the charge nurse. Um, but Tyler was going into mom's room to futz with the levels on her machine because she had proned quite a bit the night before. So that would have been Tuesday night. She proned a lot. And so yesterday, Wednesday, they were going to try to turn those levels down. Tyler, being the charge nurse, and the respiratory therapist were the only people that could do that. So, so he was heading in to do that when I talked to them yesterday. So I had not heard back until this afternoon. It's been almost 24 hours, and so they ended up turning her machine down to 70% yesterday, and she did good. She maintained a 96% oxygen saturation all afternoon, and then it started going down. She started having a little bit of trouble at night. Her nights are always worse. That's why the last few days I stopped calling in the morning, because the updates from the night time were just not good. And but then she'd come around in the or like throughout the day, and it just didn't seem um wise, I guess, for the mental health of myself and her sisters and her close friends to go through that yo-yo. So I just feel like if I call every afternoon, then I get a more consistent kind of messaging, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, so she did good yesterday afternoon, late afternoon into the evening. She stayed at 70% on that CPAP, and maintained a 96% saturation, for quite a few hours, which is more than she's ever done before. So that was good. She then also proned quite a bit last night again. Again, this is when she's laying on her belly. Really highly recommended for COVID patients. So, note to all of you, if you get COVID, lie on your belly as much as possible. It could save your life. So, anyway, she proned quite a bit last night. And today they were able to turn her machine back down to 70% again. And she maintained that oxygen saturation of 96% most of the day. She, Tyler also asked her today if she would like her hair washed. He said she was looking a little greasy. I can only imagine. It's been 7 days. So they have a machine that's able to wash her hair in her bed. And so she couldn't have the CPAP mask attached to her face, obviously, when they were doing that. We don't want her to drown. That would be terrible. Recovering from COVID, but drowning in your bed. So they had to like pull the mask a little bit away from her face and have one nurse do the hair washing and the other nurse just kind of hold her mask near her face. And even though it wasn't attached to her face, she was still maintaining that oxygenation or that saturation level with the machine, I think still only at 70%. So that's amazing. Like it was just amazing. So what else did they do? I'm kind of checking my notes here. There's a lot of them. Now comes the best part. That's right. Because her numbers were holding steady, they were able to transition her to a recliner. What? She couldn't even roll over in bed on her own without her numbers completely tanking. And today they are moving her to a recliner? That's crazy. It's just amazing. They turned up her machine to full blast, back up to the 100% while she transitioned, because they wanted to give her every bit of oxygen she could get while they transitioned her to the chair. Her saturation dropped a little bit, not much at all. Once they got her in the chair, she was quickly able to recover, and they were able to turn that machine back down to that 70%, and she continued to maintain the 96% saturation in the chair. It's like crazy. It's the miracle that we've been looking for. That is not all. So far, she has only eaten... actually, she has not eaten at all since she's been there. It's been 7 days. She's been working hard. She needs nutrients. She's been receiving IV fluid, but no food. So yesterday she had some IV trouble and they had to find a new vein, but they were really, really, really struggling with that. And so this made Tyler kind of want to push for a feeding tube. He asked Dr. Garcia, who responded, well, she said no tubes. Remember, Dr. Garcia is the one that called a few days ago and told me there was no more that they could do for her and she was going to die. The one that I had to tell, well, good thing she's more than just science. Good thing she's more than just a blob of cells. I don't like him. I suspect my mom doesn't like him either and wants to survive just to tell him I told you so. Anyway, Tyler didn't like that answer, so he took it upon himself to talk to Mom about it. At first, she said, no, I told you no tubes, to which he responded, I know, but hear me out. I'm not talking about surgically adding a tube. I'm talking about a small tube up your nose, down your throat, to get you some nourishment that you need to continue this fight that you clearly want to fight. And so you need, let's give you the nourishment to have the energy to fight. And so he did tell her, it's not going to be fun. This is not a pleasant experience. But once it's in place, it doesn't hurt. It's just an annoying, irritating thing in your throat. After a minute or so, Tyler reports that she said, fine. And I can just hear it. I can totally hear it. Sounds just like her. He was on his way into her room when I called, so I have not heard how that went. Lastly, I pushed again to get her on Facebook. She joined us a few days ago, but hasn't really been back since, as far as I can tell. I told him to let her know that I am now yelling at her, that if the roles were reversed, she would be relentless with me, trying to maintain my mental and spiritual well-being while going through this, and I'm going to do the same. I told him to let her know I'm being insistent that when she is sitting in that recliner, she needs to look at Facebook. I don't care if she reads, 3 posts at most. I don't care. Just get some of that uplifting messaging in your head. I also instructed her that she at least like one of my posts each time that she's out there, even if she doesn't read it, even if she doesn't look at it or listen to it, watch the video. I don't care if she does any of that with my posts, but I want her to like at least one of them each time to tell me that she's been out there. So far, she hasn't liked any of my posts. I mean, really, get it together, lady. Yes, my last comment there was, I'm no longer asking. This is an order now. So Tyler said he would communicate that for me. At the end of the call, I said, Tyler, this is good news, right? I mean, this is good news, right, Tyler? I'm not crazy here. I'm not getting overly excited. Like, this is legit good news. And to this, Tyler responded, here we say we are optimistic. And I said, I wasn't sure we were going to get back to optimistic a few days ago, so I'll take it. And Tyler said he didn't think so either and that he was happy about it too. And I said, that's why we like you, Tyler. That's why you're my favorite. So, the last few days, the nurses have noticeably stopped saying the words optimistic, confident, hopeful. That has been loudly silent. Today, one of those words came back. So we're going to live in the moment for today. We're not looking back. We're not looking forward. She still has a lot of work to do. She's still very, very sick, but she has not once had a success in the 7 days that she's there. And today she has had a handful of them. So there you have it. Baby steps, but a number of them. So Roger, thank you for your beautiful video today. Hallelujah indeed. And this is the first Thanksgiving in a lot of years that I have not had a drop of wine or alcohol of any kind, because I'm afraid if I start, I won't stop. And I really want to be able to go, really needed to not be, not have any in me in case they called. However, with all of this, I feel like I need to just celebrate a little bit. So I think I'm going to go have 1 glass of wine. Thank you all. Like I said, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, no matter what you decided to do today. And hopefully tomorrow's update is just as positive. Just keep in mind, I will probably only be updating at night now because I like to wait until the middle of the day to see kind of a bigger picture, just more of a bird's eye view than every little minute of every day. So thank you all. Have a good night.